to gay, bi, gay.
Woo!
We're so good at it.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
How are you doing?
We hope that your Pride Month is going swimmingly.
Pride Month.
Swimming gay.
I am so happy. Like, again, first Pride Month with both of us kind of being... Yeah, but it's huge for us, especially because we can't celebrate like normal because we can't partake in any sort of Pride celebration because we're not allowed to have any.
What would you wear to a Pride parade?
Something that screams, "I'm ace, don't touch me."
Yeah.
Yeah?
Do like an ace cape.
I would.
Flag.
I would become the Bat of the Dungeon, Severus Snape, with an ace cape.
I think I would wear like my cargo shorts.
I'm Captain Ace! Yes, I found my new identity. You all heard it, the birth of Captain Ace. This is it. Anytime I find something that I deem as too sexual for me, Captain Ace is coming to save me.
The Adventures of Captain Ace.
That sounds like a web series.
Oh my God, we should do that. But I think I would wear like my cargo shorts, like my ones that zip from real pants to shorts.
Oh yeah.
And like I would dress like a golf dad, but more rainbow.
Polo?
Yeah.
Yep.
Or like that rainbow
Rainbow
button down,
polo.
That rainbow button down I have.
Yeah.
That's really good. I like that one.
Yep. All right. So this episode, we are actually going to be reacting to celebrities coming out stories.
Yes, very exciting. Coming out.
So to be fair, I literally just found a random article on Pride.com about a bunch of people who have already come out in 2021.
Ooh.
That's what the article says. So if anything is wrong, it's not my fault. It's their fault. Blame them, not me. I already have enough of you that probably want to dox me at this point. So don't blame me for things that are not my fault. I can get into enough trouble on my own. So I guess we're just going to jump right into this.
Okay.
So as I'm sure most of you have probably picked up on, I know quite a bit about pop culture in an obscure way.
Yeah.
I am more likely to know the directors than I am to know the actors, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm more of a behind-the-scenes sort of person. You ask me, who directed that movie? I'm probably going to be able to tell you. Who stars in that movie? I don't know. So forgive me if I don't know some of these people, but here we go. Maddie Hassan, do you know?
No.
Oh, great. We're off to a great start. Taking part in the Post a Picture of trend that took over Instagram stories in January, actress Maddie Hassan, who fans mostly know from the freeform series Twisted and the YouTube series Impulse, publicly came out as bisexual after sharing a selfie with the caption, "Hi, I'm bi and proud," when asked by a fan to post a pic that gave off a gay bi vibe.
That's pretty interesting.
I was gonna say, what do you think about that one?
I think it's really I think I value that because like a lot of people, I feel like, I don't know, you're bi, so you could talk about it more than I can, but I feel like when you are bi and you are in like famous, especially if you're a bi woman and you're famous, a lot of people will default you as straight and kind of like invalidate that part of you.
I feel like when you come out as bi, a lot of people go, "Oh, are you just confused?
Yeah.
Oh, you're just exploring."
Yeah.
Coming out as bi, it's, "Oh, you're straight
You don't
and you're
take it
just
seriously,
you're straight and you're just trying to be part of the community," or it's, "Oh, you're gay and you're like homophobic, like internalized homophobia."
Yeah.
Or like all that sort of stuff. Or then you get hate from both sides where it's like, "Oh, you're not part of the straight community because you came out as LGBT."
Yeah.
But then the LGBT community is just like, "Screw you, you're not really part of our community. You don't exist. You just want to be in here. You're a faker."
Yeah.
So I feel like unless you come out as pansexual, if you decide to come out as bisexual, you're in for a rough ride, sweetheart.
Yeah. Well,
so
I'm glad
I feel
she
like
felt
I was gonna say
enough to do that.
in some ways I almost feel like coming out as bisexual is more real than coming out as pansexual because I feel like so many people are coming out as pansexual these days, and everyone seems to be okay with that.
There's a lot of discourse around bi versus pan.
I was going to say, because it sounds similar, and I understand that the difference, from my understanding at least, is that pansexual is the acceptance of all genders, going with that idea that there are more than just two genders, whereas bisexual is kind of conforming to that idea that there are two genders, but you still like them both. In either case, it's literally people liking people. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like they are very much along the same lines. What it really gets down to, brass tacks, it's more just, oh, do you believe that there's multiple genders or not? I feel like that's the only distinction.
There's a lot of arguments about that online. A lot of people like to say that bisexuality in its history and in its culture never said that it is binary to both men and women. It's more than one.
Well, here's the thing.
It's
then
however
that
you
would
define
that
it.
would be literally pansexual.
Obsolete because it's
So I'm just kind of like, so they are the same thing, and it's just like Well, technically.
Yeah, yeah.
And I hate that. That's just splitting hairs. But as I said, more people seem to be confident coming out as pan.
I mean,
whereas
I don't care.
coming out as bi seems a lot more like, you know you're going to get shit on.
I think people can identify what they want to identify because, like...
Very true.
It doesn't affect me. I don't really
Very
care.
true. Be you. Be brave. Use whatever you feel like you identify as. That's what I'm going to say.
True.
Don't let anybody else tell you, oh, that's not a thing, or, oh, you don't belong in this community. No. If you're out there and you're bi, be proud and be bi.
Yeah.
Don't be, oh, well, maybe I have to be pansexual to find acceptance. No, honey, if you decide that you want to be bi, you be bi and you be proud. I'm proud of you. All right, moving on. Mr. Grimm.
Ooh, yeah.
A professional wrestler, Chris Lewis, better known by his
Oh!
wrestling stage name, Mr. Grimm,
That's good.
rang in the new year in January by taking to Twitter to share a heartfelt coming out message, letting his followers know that he is pansexual. Oh, boy.
It's okay.
For years, I've struggled with my identity, too worried about how others would feel or think about me, Lewis wrote in his tweet. I finally gained the courage to openly express that I'm pansexual. So once again, bisexual, pansexual, I think it's just...
In general, coming out...
people liking people, period.
In general, with coming out, I really respect that from a wrestling person.
Especially, because
a man.
hyper-masculine.
Yeah.
Hyper-masculine
Yeah,
man
and
saying,
being
hey,
able to
I'm
say-
okay with admitting that I like men too.
Yeah, and that's really good, I feel.
I
Because
like that
then-
one a lot.
I mean, I fear some of the judgment he might get because, like, wrestling. And,
Again, I feel like it's a lot more acceptable for
Yeah.
a woman to either come out as gay or bi or
Yeah.
pan or whatever.
yeah.
I feel like when men do it, it's still kind of looked down on by a lot of
Oh, it
people.
is.
Like, they're much more likely to get backlash.
Yeah.
So I'm proud that a pro wrestler, was able to
yeah.
actually say something
I
like
think
that.
that's awesome.
I think 10 out of 10 in my book. Chris Stuckman. Do you know this one?
No.
Oh, boy. Popular film critic and YouTube personality Chris Stuckman came out as pansexual in an emotional January video posted to his YouTube channel. I am pansexual, the content creator said in his coming out video. If you don't know what pansexuality is, it's essentially you are attracted to all genders, and that's me.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I guess. What I'm going to say here is I'm already seeing, like, 2 of them have already been pansexual. I feel like we're going to see that a lot more. Now, this may be a bit of a controversial statement. Am I the only one that thinks that coming out as pansexual is kind of quote-unquote trendy right now? Am I the only one getting that vibe? I don't want to put people down. If they legitimately feel that way, I do not want to put people down. But if I sit here and say that it almost seems trendy for celebrities to jump on the hype train and be like, I'm pansexual, see? I'm part of your community. I'm a person just like everybody else. I feel like they're doing it more for clout than anything, and maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe I'm just a cynical asshole.
Maybe, but I feel like as we move forward, there is a lot more people getting the notion to analyze their sexuality and not just accept what they should be or thought that they would be. I think that as being not straight becomes more and more acceptable, that is that point where people will go, what do I like? And I think that this isn't the case for everyone, but bisexual or pansexual is a stepping stone for a lot of people.
Yeah, in their journey.
Yeah, I ID'd as straight, and then I ID'd as bisexual, and then I ID'd as pan, and then I came out as a lesbian.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that that is that case for everyone, but it
can definitely be a
sometimes
stepping
it
stone,
is.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, I identified as bi before I really started to look internally and say, hey, I think I'm actually more ace.
Yeah.
But even now, I identify myself as biromantic, asexual. So, I mean, it's kind of one of those things like, yes, it's a stepping stone. But as I said, I feel like so many celebrities are coming out as pan, and it almost feels like that's a way of saying, hey, I'm part of the community, but I'm literally not committing to anything. I'm not saying I like this. I'm not saying I like that. I'm saying I like everything. Blanket term, like very soft blanket term. And maybe that's their way of introducing themselves into the community, but I don't know. It just kind of feels a little gimmicky
I
right
would
now.
rather have some people come out as pan or something else to receive that clout than someone to come out as, like, I hate all the gays.
I mean, obviously, yeah. So, as I said, I mean, it's just my interpretation of it. I could just be a cynical jerk. Next one, Mary Weissman. The Star Trek Discovery star publicly opened up about her sexuality in January and confirmed to the world that she is definitely queer and proud. I did say this, Weissman told StarTrek.com when asked to clarify a comment that she made in a previous Zoom interview where she made the comment, "I'm not straight. It's not a big deal at all. I just didn't want to say I'm straight when I'm not." Before Noah, who's her husband and another actor on the show, "I dated and loved people of all genders. I never liked it when straight-presenting women dominated conversations about bisexuality and pansexuality when I was with women, so I try not to do it now. But I also don't want to feel like I'm hiding anything because I'm queer and proud."
Yeah.
I would definitely agree
respect
that is very much a general feeling, and I kind of disagree with her to some extent here. I feel like if you are bisexual and end up with a man, you are still every bit as bisexual as you were before. So I'm proud that she's saying, "Hey, I'm still bi." Like, that hasn't changed. But I feel like, because she says here, "I never liked it when straight presenting women dominated conversations about bisexuality and pansexuality." And I'm kind of like, whether you're straight presenting or bi presenting, I don't think it matters. I mean, hell, most people will look at me and assume that I'm straight. I have just as much a right to say how I feel if I end up with a man. I will still have every bit, the same right as I have now to say, "Hey, not straight." And I don't think it's one of those things where, well, if you marry a man, maybe you should be quieter in the community. I disagree with that.
It's not like that. I think that's her opinion.
Yeah.
I think if I was in her position, I would have worded that better and said, like, I know there is a lot of women who like, are in straight presenting relationships that do speak up about it, and I feel like there's a lack of people who, like, men who are coming out as bisexual or other people coming out as bisexual who need to speak up a little bit more, and that's why I haven't been super vocal about it. Cause
And here's my thing, ladies, and men who are bi, especially. If you are bi and you end up in a more hetero relationship, that does not stop you from being bi. And please, please, please do not let anybody tell you that you no longer belong in the community because you ended up in a hetero relationship. You are still every bit as bi as you were before. Do not let anybody kick you to the curb because, oh, you don't belong here because you're not gay enough. You don't.
There is no gay
There is
enough.
no amount of gay that is the right amount. Okay, I just want to preface this by saying that because it's a big pet peeve for me, as I'm sure you can tell. But we're going to take a quick break here, and then we're going to get back into... Yeah, we're going to get back into this. I'm excited for this next one. I think you guys are going to like this one.
Hello and welcome back to Gay by Gay.
Woo! All right, so I have calmed down for my rant. I'm sorry. Y'all know how I get passionate about these things.
Abby likes to rant.
I do like to rant, and I also like to rant when I feel like someone is being unfairly targeted or attacked. Honey, if you need someone to cheer the underdog, I will be your cheerleader. I will be your entire squad.
You like a good soapbox.
I do like my soapbox. There's a lot of really nice carvings in there.
Soap
carvings.
I don't know. Is that what soapbox comes from?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. Do they carry soap in, like, boxes to sell them in, like, the 1800s or something?
I don't know, but I know that a lot of people apparently stood on them to say important things.
Stand.
Yeah.
You get up on your soapbox. And
That too.
You say that. Yes. Okay, let's keep going.
We're going to just keep going now. Nat's Getty.
The Gettysburg Address?
No, that's Abraham Lincoln.
Okay.
Artist and LGBTQ plus activist Nat's Getty publicly opened up about their gender identity in January in a heartfelt and emotional social media post and in a video on their partner, popular beauty guru GBG Gorgeous's YouTube channel. I remember watching Gigi when she was just starting her transitioning journey. Should talk about her one day on the podcast.
Yeah.
We love some Gigi.
Yeah.
I am transgender non-binary. I have spent my entire life not in sync with the body I was born in and confined by an outward appearance that did not match my mind of soul. Nats wrote in a letter on Instagram posted alongside a portrait with Gigi. It wasn't until recently that I was even comfortable admitting this to myself, once I was able to look inwards and truly reflect on my authentic self. Jojo Siwa, familiar.
Yeah.
After online speculation from fans in January following several posts on TikTok where she was lip-syncing to Lady Gaga's iconic bop, Born This Way, and dancing with the members of queer social media collective Pride House LA, popular singer, dancer, and Nickelodeon star Jojo Siwa took to Twitter to confirm that she is queer, donning a shirt that her cousin gifted her for her to wear that says Best Gay Cousin Ever.
So sweet.
Then in an April cover story interview for People magazine, Siwa said that although she's still figuring things out when it comes to what specific LGBTQ plus label to use and identify with, she does use and is comfortable with the pansexual label. I don't know, bisexual, pansexual, queer, lesbian, gay, straight. I always just say gay because it kind of covers everything, or queer because I think the keyword is cool. I like queer, she said. Technically, I would say that I'm pansexual because that's how I've always been my whole life. It's just like my human is my human. I do like that.
I like that she was able to say that she's still figuring it out.
Yep. Especially because she is younger. I'm glad that she's not committing herself to be like, oh, I already have this figured out and I know who I am. She's saying, I don't know yet. I like that. Don't rush.
I like
figure it out on your own terms.
I like the journey, yeah.
Love it. TJ Osborne, the country music star and lead vocalist of the musical duo The Brothers Osborne, publicly spoke his truth and came out as gay in a February interview with Time magazine. I'm very comfortable being gay, TJ told Time. I find myself being guarded for not wanting to talk about something that I personally don't have a problem with. That feels so strange. Again, coming out as gay, I can understand that, where you can accept it, but you're more afraid of how others will accept it.
That's hard. Country, hard.
Very hard. Very hard.
Because there's a lot of people out there who aren't very accepting of gay people, especially
in some of those
South
areas.
And Southern and
good for him.
Yeah, that's really hard.
He's got my vote. Gabby Tuft. Retired World Wrestling Entertainment superstar Gabby Tuft publicly opened up about her gender identity in a powerful post on her Instagram account in February. The 42-year-old California native came out as trans, saying, I am no longer afraid and am no longer fearful. I can now say with confidence that I love myself for who I am.
I love that.
I like that too. Coming out as trans can be very, very difficult. Especially, again, going from something that's more masculine presenting. I'm not sure which way she's going. Given that we're referring to her as a she now.
In the description.
I would say, even looking at some of her photos, I think she's masculine to feminine, if I'm not mistaken, which even harder. If you're going masculine wrestler to female, good on you. That's a hard journey. Adelaide Kane. Rain and Teen Wolf actress Adelaide Kane came out as bisexual in a February TikTok post. Me super nervous to come out publicly as bisexual to the other people in my life and social media, reads the caption of Kane's coming out TikTok, where Michael Bublé's song Haven't Met You Yet can be heard playing in the background.
That's kind of cute. I like that. That's low-key. I like that a lot.
I do too. Lux Pascal. Game of Thrones and The Mandalorian star Pedro Pascal's little sister came out as trans to the world publicly via a February cover story Spanish-language entertainment magazine, Ya. Yeah. My transition has been something that's very natural for everyone in my family, Lux said in the feature about how supportive the family and her life were, as reported by People. It's almost something that they expected to happen. And one of those most supportive people was none other than her older brother, Pedro. Pedro has been an important part of this, Lux continued. He's also an artist who has served as a guide for me. He was one of the first people to gift me the tools that started shaping my identity.
Aww, that's so cute.
That's very sweet. Oh my god, all this reading is getting to me.
I know it's hard.
Robin Tokar. Video game streamer and Twitch personality Robin Tokar came out as a transgender woman in February Twitter and Instagram posts, sharing the news with fans while stating that he is still using he/him pronouns for the time being, but is excited to share this journey with others. I'm becoming a trans woman, Robin wrote in his announcement. It's still very early on in the process. I'm still almost in disbelief. He continued, for now I'm still going to go by the name Robin, and I'm still using he/him pronouns, but I'm choosing to bring you into the loop early, and hopefully you'll want to join me on this journey.
Oh, that's really hard. I'm really proud of him in gaming. Oh.
The gaming community, I feel like, it can go one of two ways, weirdly enough. You know what I mean?
Most of the time, toxic against women.
Yeah.
Toxic...
And that's why it's one of those
trans
things.
Trans women? Oh my god.
I was going to say, if you're going male to female, I feel like there are a lot of people that are going to feel their masculinity has been threatened. You know what I mean? Where they're going, oh my god, this dude that I was following is turning into a woman. Yeah. Gross. So good on you for coming out. That's really hard to do. Lily Johansson. After a nearly 3-year-long hiatus, YouTube star and comedian Lily Johansson, who is well known for creating the Joe Goes YouTube channel, posted a heartfelt YouTube video in early March entitled The Cost of Costumes, where she discussed the journey she's had over the years in discovering her truest and most authentic self coming out as a trans woman. When you're being authentic, your essence shines and people want to be around you, she reflected. My story is not Joe became Lily. My story is Lily stopped pretending to be Joe.
Oh.
That's interesting. I like that.
That's so sweet. Ooh. I think especially when you're coming out, a lot of the motivation, especially I feel like for a lot of trans people, is not to let people know about you. A lot of the motivation is maybe if someone sees that I can do this, they'll think that they can do it as well.
Yeah.
Which is a hard thing to do.
It is. Kayla Braxton, WWE's Friday Night SmackDown correspondent and interviewer Kayla Braxton, posted a heartfelt message about her sexuality to her now deleted Twitter account in early March. I hope she didn't delete it because of this. The 27-year-old media personality who co-hosts the WWE's weekly social media talk show The Bump proudly and publicly announced that she is bisexual, saying, "My whole life I've had to choose. Are you black? Are you white? Which bubble do you fill in on the SATs? I always filled in other because nothing applied to me. Tonight, I choose to be over having to choose. Hello world, I'm Kayla, and oh yeah, I'm bi."
I feel bad though because, in the wrestling community, there's a lot of I feel like toxic masculinity there.
Yeah.
I could assume. But, and so when a woman comes out as bi, a lot of it is fetishized.
Unfortunately, I feel like that would be very
that's
difficult.
so hot. And
yeah. Oh
that's
man,
not
she likes women
validating.
too. Yeah, and it's not validating to who you are in trying to come out. That's overly sexualizing you. For me, it was one of my biggest fears when I realized that I was a little bit more ace. Coming out as bisexual, I was really worried that a lot more people would start to see me in that fetishized way, and for me being ace, obviously that makes me extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit difficult, realizing that if I identify as these two things, as much as I can say, oh, I'm bi-romantic, a lot of people are just going to blow right past that and be like, oh, so like threesomes and stuff. And it's like, no, I'm actually also ace. Thank you.
I feel like that's something that bi women and a lot of lesbians have in common, of having your sexuality used as a fetish for men.
Yep.
It's not great.
Yep. Ella Hunt, the 23-year-old English actress who plays Haley Steinfeld's best friend / love interest in Sue Gilbert in Apple TV's super queer historical comedy series Dixon. This is the one that I was talking about earlier to you. I knew it. Took to Twitter in March, clarifying comments she had made about queerness in a recent interview with Square Mile and how she, in fact, identifies herself as queer. "I love the term queer," Hunt told the lifestyle publication. "I don't think it's specifically about sexuality. I see it as a mindset and feeling empowered in the bizarre and strange sides of myself. I think queer is a beautiful word that, in a sense, it's an attitude, and that's how I identify my friends in New York. When a fan took issue with the suggestion that queerness is an attitude, they reached out personally to Hunt on Twitter, and Hunt was more than happy to engage. "I love you so much, and I loved your interview," Twitter user @Tin6 wrote to Hunt. "However, being queer isn't an attitude. I can't just change being this way because of my attitude change when I'm having a bad day. I still love you, though." She replied, "I actually completely agree with you, and when the interviewer asked me directly if I was queer, I got anxious and fumbled my answer, having not openly talked about my identity for long," Hunt replied. Okay.
I love it when people come out as queer.
Yeah,
I think so, 'cause
non-committal, saying I don't know where I'm at, but here I am.
Not only that, as I am not what you think I am.
Whatever that may be. Yep.
There's a song, it has, "I'm not gay as in happy, but I'm queer as in fuck you."
Ooh, I do like
Favorite. Oh, I love that song.
Here's the last one I'm going to be reading.
Okay.
You guys know, or actually, yeah, I think this episode will have come out by then.
Probably, yeah.
Demi Lovato. I hate to say it. I feel like in some cases she's majorly attention seeking. Maybe that's just my poor understanding. I mean, I know she's been through a lot in her life, but
She can still come out.
I know. I don't know. I feel like everything she does now feels more insincere,
Yeah.
but of course she may have come out before this whole last thing with the whole
definitely
the big chill
before,
and everything.
yeah.
So
If this was written in January, then definitely before.
well, it says in a March interview with Joe Rogan on his popular podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, the 28-year-old Grammy-nominated singer who has been publicly open about being queer. I don't know why I read that
about
wrong.
her queer.
I was like, wait. About being queer and talking about her sexuality and her attraction to both men and women in the past, was comfortable enough to label herself as pansexual. Okay, so maybe I'm wrong.
Just
Maybe I'm
labeling.
wrong.
Yeah. Just being like, I identified this before, but this is how I really identify now.
Yep, and as I said, if I'm wrong, I have no problem admitting that I'm wrong, so I will retract my earlier statement. "I was engaged to a man last year," Lovato told Rogan when asked about her prior engagement to actor Max Ehrich? I don't... Ehrich?
Eldritch.
There's no L in there.
Troyer.
Either way, and whether or not she wants to have children in the future. I totally thought I'd be married, maybe pregnant by now, and that's not the case. She continued, I also don't know if I'm going to end up with a guy, so I can't really see myself maybe getting pregnant. So I'm so fluid now. And part of the reason why I'm so fluid is because I was super closeted off. You mean sexually fluid? Rogan asked. You like girls? You like boys? Yeah, anything really, Lovato responded. What do they call that? Like pansexual or something like that? Rogan asked. Yeah, pansexual, said Lovato.
Oh, okay. So that wasn't even like a full admission.
No, that was more of a, yeah,
sure.
You could call it that.
I like everyone, and I don't want to put a label on that.
And you know
That's
what?
pretty good.
As I said, like, I go back and forth on how I feel about pansexual. Part of me says pansexual is a great step on the road to saying, I don't know where I'm at. I'm open to admitting that I'm part of the community, but I don't want to commit to anything, and I think that's fine. I think bi is a bit more of a commitment, maybe, where it's like, if you're bisexual, you're kind of admitting that it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's not. As I said, bi and pan seems so along the same line. I don't know if it's just the same thing masquerading.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm sure some of you in the community may be able to enlighten us a little bit. If you kind of have a better grasp of the difference between pansexual and bisexual, I'd be totally open to listening and talking, because maybe it's just, again, I haven't been out as bi for very long, so maybe I'm just confused. I mean, I always say all the time, I'm bi confused.
There's always interpretations to everything in the world.
Yeah. But for sure, let us know. Please, 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 if you enjoyed listening, share the podcast. It would mean the absolute world to us. We are really starting to grow this community, and we are absolutely loving it. And the more people we bring into the family, the happier we are. You know what they say, happiness is friends. I don't know
what they say?
I don't know who says that, but I'm going to start saying it.
Okay, cool. We love you guys. Thank you for listening.
Happy Pride Month.
And we hope that you take it gay by gay.
Bye.